It is my birthday in 5 days. 5, not 5. My birthday is on the 31st of October, aka Halloween. I just want to do a little chit chat about turning 31. Also, I'm turning 31 on the 31st, so it's my golden birthday and I want to get all into that. While I do this little chit chat, we're going to paint some Halloween figurines. Clay? Sure. We're going to do some painting and some chit chatting. So let's get started, shall we? 31 on the 31st, 31 on the 31st. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, let's crack into this, shall we? Okay, cute. Here are the paints. God, everything's sticky taped in. Here are the paints. Classic Halloween colours. We have this teeny tiny little paintbrush. I don't know what the effing F this is gonna do. Alright, we'll use it. Is there glue all over it? Shit's flaking off. Let's use this cardboard as the base. And what have we got? We've got a skeleton bat. We have a wizard frog. We have a ghost making soup. A cat on a pumpkin. A dog as a witch or wizard. And finally, a cauldron bubbling over with toxic waste. So we have our colours, we have our figurines, our 6 figurines. We have some Woltra. Now, because this is already going to be, it's so easy. Like, I'm just painting little figurines. I'm going to put my witch fingers on. It's a Halloween video after all. Now, what fingers go where? This is the middle finger. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Let's see how long I can last painting with my nails on. Ooh. 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 What one do we want to start with? I feel like the frog is easy, so let's start with the frog. Then we can just rotate them around. What do we think about that? I don't know how I'm going to do this. God, these lids are actually much easier to open, yes, got it, than the ones I had when I was a kid. They've got like the split lid now. Before you used to have to like, pop it open and it would fucking fly everywhere. Anyways, let's talk about my birthday. So like I said, I turn 31 on the 31st. I am not where I thought I would be turning 31. I guess had not high expectations. Is this just so distracting, me having a serious conversation with these fucking fingers on? Anyways, I didn't have high expectations, but a couple of years ago, I really was in a dark space mentally. And I remember one of the things that I would think about is where I would be on my golden birthday. And I pictured being surrounded by a lot of community, new friendships. I had a very different picture in my head of what this birthday would look like. Now we're 5 days away and none of what I was envisioning is a part of my reality. That's all good, that's fine. I know in my heart and in my soul that the things I'm dreaming for and longing for, they're on their way. I just think I needed to be in a different headspace to appreciate them. And while I'm still working on achieving that headspace, I can see that I just wasn't ready for it yet. Like, I wasn't ready for the type of friendships that I was calling in, and I wasn't ready for the dedication and the energy that these friendships that I really long for require of me. That's essentially the gist of it. So I'm not I'm not in the place that I thought I would be by this birthday, but I've done a lot of growing this year, a lot of letting go, a lot of reconfiguration of myself in the best way possible. So, you know, this birthday is going to look a little different than what I had imagined, but in saying that, it's going to be a good one nonetheless. I am someone that doesn't really like birthdays for many different reasons. God, it's actually hard to talk and do this at the same time. But I'm still going to have a great time. I have some exciting things planned and booked for the weekend because my birthday is on a Friday. On the Saturday, I am going horse riding. I love horse riding. It literally is so fun. Like, oh, I'm obsessed. I do want to start doing lessons and really learning about how to take care of a horse and do all the things. Like, obviously when you just go for leisure, the horse is already saddled up. Like, you might learn little bits and pieces, but you don't get the full experience of getting to know how to care for a horse. Just like there's so much that goes into obviously having a horse. And one day I will love a horse. I would love to own a horse. I want a farm and I want a horse. So I'm living for the life that I want to create, and that includes starting horse lessons or horse riding lessons, horse care lessons, whatever, now, so that when the time comes for my farm and my horse, I'll already know what I'm doing. So that's exciting. But that's not what I'm doing this weekend. I'm just going on a horseback ride. I'm going down to Byron Bay to do it, which I'm so excited about. I hope it's a nice trail. I'm sure it will be. And I'm just going to live my best horse girl life on the Saturday. That's exciting. The two things that I have planned for my birthday are equally as exciting as each other, just in different ways. What I have planned for the Monday is something that I have been wanting to do and have been talking about for literal years and years, is an energy healer. I feel like I've done a lot of work on myself and I've, changed a lot of my pattern thinking, and I've really just I've gotten deep into the muckiness of some things, of a lot of things, but I'm ready to outsource and bring someone else into this journey to just get me right. So I know a lot of people don't really believe in stuff like this, although I do feel like spirituality is becoming so much more mainstream, so much more acceptable to talk about and be interested in. It was very taboo. It always has been, but I don't know. I know a lot of people don't really believe in stuff like this, but the lady that I'm going to see does kinesiology. Is that how you pronounce it? I think so. Kinesiology. Kinesiology, not kinesiology. Kinesiology. I think some sort of form of Reiki. It includes a sound bath, a sound healing session. It's 2 hours long, a full extravaganza experience. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, is that all the green? Yes. Do you want to do the colouring on this just so classic? Do we want a green frog, a purple hat, a yellow star? Really just go classic with it. I think that's what I'm going to do for all of them. I don't really do... Oh, there's no white. I guess I'm going to have to leave the skeleton, the clay colour, and just paint black in the background of the bat. Yeah, I really feel like when I do stuff like this, it has to be done to its realistic colours, and that's no fun. I can acknowledge that. It would be so much more fun to sit down and go, oh my god, a cat on a pumpkin, it's going to be a pimp? A pink pumpkin and a purple cat or a red cat. Yeah, that would be really fun. If I had another pack, I would do that. But first I have to get it out of my system that what we're doing here is the right colours. Maybe I'll go rogue with the ghost because I don't have a white and the ghost... What are we doing? I can't just leave it blank because what's the point in colouring the cauldron? No. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is me just planning on how to paint little clay figurines. Girl, get a grip. Oh, I've got to open the purple. Should I close the green? Yes. Close the green. Maybe I'll do its stomach red. That might be fun. Who likes that? A red stomach. All right, this is going to be tricky. Got it. Me, an artist. Yeah, so I am really excited to go see this energy healer. I feel like there are just some things that I've worked really hard on to process and let go of and change my thought process. Just normal healing things from different experiences. And at this point, I want an energetic cutting of cords. I, of course, could do a ceremony a candle, like a physical candle cord cutting ceremony. I just think this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and what a perfect time, what a perfect way to actually do that. I don't want it to come from me. I want someone to facilitate this process for me, because obviously being so close to myself and to the source of what's going on, I would rather have someone else facilitate a process, a ritual of sorts for me. I'm trying not to have too big expectations and really just go with the flow, go with whatever comes up, take it for what it is. So we shall see, but I'm really, really looking forward to that. I really want to get into the nitty-gritty. It's not like I just turn up and, she does some singing bowls and performs a chant and then I go home. It's gonna involve a lot of conversation too, and letting her know where I'm at and things I want healing and help on, and getting down to the source of my own suffering. I just feel like I have a lot of blocks, things that hold me back from achieving what I want to achieve. I overcame probably one of my biggest blocks earlier this year. Actually, no, it was last year. Yeah, like August last year, and, even a couple of months before that. I was going through a situation where I just wasn't really feeling my best, and I didn't know how to help myself. But what was keeping me stuck and actually stopping me from letting go of all these negative thought patterns was, and even physical patterns, like how I would show up, my habits, my everyday habits in life. What was stopping me from leveling up, I don't really know what to say there, leveling up, letting go, whatever, was the concept that if I bettered myself, I wouldn't be relatable to the people around me anymore. And how are we going to connect? What were we going to talk about if all of a sudden I was more self-loving and more positive and was making positive changes for myself? I feel like a big source of the way I connected and communicated with certain people was in this shared experience of, oh my God, we're so shit, we're so ugly, we're so fat, we're so horrible, we're such fate. Like, just that shared experience of self-pity. I just wasn't in environments with these people where we were like necessarily talking too positively about ourselves. And it almost became a competition on who was suffering the most, who felt the worst, who could belittle themselves the most. I won't speak for everyone, but I feel like that is a very common thing that happens, especially in female to female friendships, is we go into this shared experience of insecurities, and that's where we get stuck, and we just talk about our insecurities back and forth, not even necessarily talk about them, compete in it. And to be seen as confident is threatening. So you just keep yourself small, you keep yourself little, you keep yourself relatable in the conversation of who has it worse and why do we feel so horrible and, all the things. I have felt that way about most of my female friendships in adulthood. And that's not to say that there isn't encouragement and positivity and kind words at all. That's not what I'm saying. It's just there is this level of competing to be the most insecure, the biggest failure. I want to say it's such a bizarre thing, but it really is not that bizarre. It happens. It is what it is. It is really sad. And I remember overcoming that and just having this really clear moment of recognizing that that's what I was doing, and that's actually what was holding me back from going after my goals, implementing more positive habits into my life. Yeah, I realized that it was just a lack of, if I become positive, if I lose weight, if I become more successful, if I am more confident in myself and carry myself with that confidence, I'm not relatable to these other people especially these other women. So what will we relate on? And does that make me a target? Will that put a target on my back where it breeds an environment of envy and jealousy and resentment and, just nastiness? Now, you might be thinking, well, if that's how the people around you make you feel, then they're not really nice people to have around. And I agree. That is true. But there are also certain situations where you don't get full control and autonomy over who you spend your time with. So sometimes it's just unavoidable and it is what it is. But that is fine because it shows you where you still may hold triggers around certain events or certain thought processes, limiting beliefs, and that can actually help you. And it did help me. I literally remember for so long I would think I don't know how to overcome this belittling and making myself small for other people. I didn't even really recognize that I was doing that for other people. I thought that's just how I felt about myself. But the realization that it was actually a reflection of me not wanting to ruffle feathers or make other people, again, especially women, upset and isolate me further during a time where I already felt so isolated and so disconnected, so alone. I was just holding on to any little thing so that I didn't have to, sink further down that path, which is survival. It is what it is, but it's also not healthy. And I didn't need to be, I'm really struggling with this yellow. I didn't need to be in that survival state. Come on, yellow. Golly gosh. So I'm really grateful that I overcame that. Literally, pause, hold on. Oh my God, I got it. Woo! So yeah, I realized the moment that I connected all those dots and understood that was the place that I was acting from, or behaving from, not acting, but that was what was fueling my actions and my behaviors. And pretty quickly, quicker than most other lessons I've had to learn, I was able to really move through that and let go of that thought process. This even relates to the relationship I had with my sister, and we are close, right? We are best friends. We do not compete with each other at all. My relationship with my sister is a very healthy one, I personally think. We are just best friends. We have so much respect and love for each other. We're always cheering each other on. Yeah, it's just such a positive relationship. And I found that it was even impacting me in that way. If I achieve all these things, it felt like I was leaving my sister behind. It felt like I was excelling without her and taking a step into, another level of life and leaving her behind. Obviously, I spoke to her about this, after I'd processed it and been like, this was actually a thought process that was fueling me, which is crazy because that's not our relationship at all. And she was like, of course not. We only want the best for each other. But it was just recognizing how I was holding myself back to make other people feel comfortable and okay and not threatened. I think that is the biggest one that I was holding on to, that I didn't want to make anyone feel threatened, which sounds really cocky and self-absorbed. It's not that. It really is just I didn't want to lose community by outgrowing the people around me, because that's essentially what it would have been. We were all on the same level of hating ourselves just for conversation. Obviously we felt those things. It's not like we were just acting and pretending, it wasn't a performance. They were genuine feelings, but I think they got exaggerated. When you're with other people that feel a similar way, it's easy to fully dive into that negative thought process instead of remaining even a little bit grounded around it, if that makes any fucking sense. Anyways, all of that to say is that was a huge lesson, a huge thing I had to process and overcome. I took some big steps moving forward to better myself and do what was right for me in my own way and what felt comfortable to me. And I just went on my own journey. I went on my own little journey to better myself in a multitude of different ways and just feel more myself. And I'm so glad I did. But I feel like this energy healer is another step in that direction. It's really just going into situations and experiences that have always lived within me, because I'm someone that really struggles with closure. And if I don't get closure around a situation, I find it really hard to keep it moving, keep it pushing. It takes everything in me. And that is just a waste of life force energy. That is just feeding my energy into other people or situations that do not serve me in the slightest. They just don't serve me. The end, they don't serve me. So I want to be able to go in and energetically cut ties and just dive further into the healing process. Because it's not about ignoring things that I've gone through. It's not about, oh my God, I just want someone else to come and fix it all up and, just do some Reiki and some magic over the top of me and just make it all disappear. It's really not about that. It is taking everything I've learned, all of the things that I've gone through, all of the ways that I've tried to heal myself, and really just dive deeper into it and hopefully come out the side a little bit quicker. It's not that I'm trying to... What's the word? It's not that I'm trying to bypass it altogether. It's literally just I want to move through this a bit quicker, a bit easier. Let's go deeper. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You got to go through it. If the Lord can lead you to it, He can lead you through it. Vibes, So I've just got to go through it, and I feel like this is something that is actually going to help me on that journey of going through it. Yay! So that is what my birthday weekend, long story short, that is what my birthday weekend will consist of. It'll consist of horse riding on the Saturday and then an energy healer on the Monday. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I did an Instagram post the other day talking about this year and last year. I've done a lot of things that my inner child, my younger self, would think is really cool or fun. They're things that are connected to her. Like, I've seen a lot of bands that I used to listen to in high school that I still love, and like songs I still love, music I still love. Growing up, I always did things for the plot, or I did things for the memory. Like, I remember actively thinking that all the time, even from a young age. Like, I was very aware of my mortality and that I was going to die someday and this life was short and fleeting. Like, I've just, since literally a little baby girl, I have carried that with me, and it has fueled me in the experiences I have and how I show up in this life. I'm someone that is constantly thinking about the fact we get this one life. Whether you believe in reincarnation or not, I get this one life, and I want to live it to the best of my abilities. I just want to experience everything. I want to see everything. I want to do everything. That is a huge drive in who I am as a person. And when I was younger, I did a lot of things for the memories. Like, I was always thinking, when I'm old and on my deathbed, I'm going to have all of these memories, all of these experiences, all of these things that I've done to look back on, and I want to have a fulfilling life. That is truly what I believe I was put on this earth for, is to just experience what life has to offer and share it. That is another side of it that I'm stepping into, but I want to experience everything. I really do believe that is what I came here for. I'm not career driven. I know that that's what I'm here for, is just to experience life and everything it has to offer. That, of course, includes some downs, some traumas, some heavy experience, because that's just the human experience, which I could get into and do a whole other fucking video about diving too deep into spirituality or religion. I am not a religion versus spirituality person. I used to be when I was younger, before my frontal lobe developed, but I'm very much now religion, spirituality, they are in the same category, and you can definitely dive too far into that and then miss the whole point of life. In my opinion. Let me just say that. Okay, the frog is pretty much done. I did think I wanted to paint his tummy red, and I need to paint his eyes black. Maybe I'll do his eyes. When I did things when I was younger, I was always in the back of my head thinking, say yes to this because it's just another memory, another cool memory to have. Now that I'm older, and by no means am I old, I'm just older, I find myself doing a lot of things that I know my younger self would love at all ages. Like from a little girl to a teenager to early 20s, like I am finding myself doing things that I know she would love and enjoy and channeling her more. And then by proxy, getting the memories, the experiences out of it that I'm going to have with when I'm old. But my focus these days is less about, and it's not even something that I did consciously, it was just, I've just noticed recently that is how I'm thinking, that I'm focusing more on my younger self and doing things that she would enjoy. So it's weird, this switch of like, I'm doing things for my older self so that she has memories, but now that I am older, I'm doing things for my younger self to just like reinvigorate that aspect, that side of me. The black one is on the end. This one's going to be really hot. Pause. Got him. Hang on, Sala. Just got to do a little bit of powder, okay? Sweating me cunt off in here. It literally is so hot. Can't have the fan on. Fuck it. So yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I cannot believe I'm turning 31. That feels so foreign. I did say towards the end of, like from 25 on, I knew that my 30s were going to be the best years of my life. And I think we're going in a good direction. And I'm stoked. I'm fucking stoked about it. I did not think that painting these would take so goddamn long. Frog is done. Let's have a little look-see at him, shall we? Also, the paint dries really quick on these, which is good. There he is. There's my frog. Oh, he's so cute. I could dive into everything I've spoken about so far, like so much more in depth. I am not someone that like thinks shallow about things. I think deeply about everything. It's a gift and a curse. Here's the thing. Do I make the cauldron black, the death symbol red, the sludge coming out the top green, the spoon yellow, and is that an eye? Thank God the black's already open. Yeah, I could talk about these things on and on and on and on and on and on. Something I watched today, literally just before I sat down to do this, was The Boys' new video on their new series that they're doing, The Trip of Terror, I believe it's called. The first video in that series, they were doing ghost hunting. I want to do a ghost hunting video so badly. I just don't know if I could do it by myself. Like, I would want to be a guest on someone's channel, I feel, because I just don't know if I could just I don't know if I could do it all on my own, but I want to go so bad. I was so obsessed with ghosts and stuff when I was a teenager, but as I've gotten older, I've become more of a scaredy cat. I was obsessed with serial killers, anything paranormal, aliens, conspiracy theories, that's obviously going in a different direction, but I was so obsessed with all these things. My poor mother, religious mother. So I was watching the boys do this ghost hunt, and at the end of the video, they did a new method that they've never tried before. Juicy had tried it before. I don't even remember what it's called, but essentially they put one of the boys in a trance, and essentially it kind of mimics an Estes method, but way more intense I mean, it turned out way more intense. I don't know if that kind of situation that they had is like a guaranteed thing or if that is how it works normally, but it was really intense. I had chills the whole end of the video. I was literally tearing up at some points just because it was so fucking intense. It was crazy. The craziest thing I've ever seen. Actually, it was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But what I thought was really interesting was at the beginning of the episode, one of them was doing a spirit box ritual, I guess you could call it. He wasn't really getting like all that much from, the session. And then he asked, is there an afterlife? And the answer he got back was, you're living it. Now, if that is not the most crazy answer, and it immediately put me into like this really introspective, like thinking, what does it mean? And I interpret it to be, they say that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So this kind of ties into what I was already thinking about, which is crazy actually. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. If you're to think of us as going through this life to learn lessons, to evolve our souls, evolve our spirit, then being here on earth for the short amount of time that we're here is a version of an afterlife. Like obviously down here on earth we call this a life, which it is, but if we are mainly and for majority of our time a spirit, the death of our spiritual lives is being a human, or the death of that existence is being a human and being here on earth. So you could fully interpret that response as, is there an afterlife? You're living it. We are living it. This life is an afterlife because our main form of existence is a spiritual being, wherever that exists. I just realized I'm wearing my alien shirt. How funny, how very fitting. Our human lives are the afterlife. This is like the blip experience that we are so egocentric as humans because it's so about the self that we believe that the afterlife is something that happens after this existence, and whatever experiences happen then is an afterthought, I don't even know the right wording, but an afterthought to what we are experiencing right now. And I guess I've heard of theories in that way, but not in that way. Just hearing that so plain and simple like that, is there an afterlife? You're living it. It just clicked and unlocked something within me, as I'm sure it would anyone. I'm not saying that I'm having a individual unique experience right now. I just find it really fascinating to think of being here on earth having a human experience as something that comes after existing as something else. And this is not the primary experience. This is the afterlife. This is something that we go through to better our spirit forms. Therefore, our human forms are not the primary thing. We're not trying to up-level our human bodies or the human body, even though obviously there's evolution. It's more about we exist in a realm somewhere as a spirit, as an energy, and to up-level that version of us, we have to come here and do this for a short amount of time in the grand scheme of things, I think. But the human experience is technically the afterlife because we die over there to come here. Or not so much die, but reform. I guess it's yes, it is die because when we die here, we form into that thing again. Very cyclical. Why am I? Circular, but cyclical. Cyclical? Anyways, an experience that goes like this. What we think is dying here and going to the afterlife, when we're there, we die there to come to this afterlife. Maybe they're both the afterlife. Maybe there's not one primary thing. Maybe it's we have this dual experience of being in spirit form, energy form, and then having a human body, and we just boom, 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 boom to another. Like, we don't know how long we exist in that form. If you even believe any of this at all, and in that version of an afterlife, we don't know how long we exist in that form for. It could be that we stay a spirit for 90 years, 80 years, before the cycle begins again and we have to come here, and then it's the 90 years and we go back, and then it's the 90 years and we, like, or obviously people die at different stages, different ages. It's just, we're here for 25 years and then we go back to spirit form, and we could be in spirit form for 80 years and then we come back here, and then here we survive for 100 and then we go back and we're in spirit form for 5 years or 1 year and then we come back. Like, we don't know fucking anything, but I just found that concept to be very interesting and something that I can see being an actual possibility. Like, that to me is not a crazy concept, that the human experience is a version of the afterlife. My freaking camera died, so we're gonna finish up on my phone. I thought I was gonna get through all of these, but turns out talking and painting is much harder than I thought it was gonna be. This is where we're at with the cauldron. The cauldron's black. So let's do the red. Yeah, that is not like an incomprehensible concept to me. It actually would make a lot of sense. I know that, isn't it so weird when you hear something or you find out something new, or like, it doesn't even have to be new, but you just hear a piece of information and you get it, you understand it, but then you just understand it so differently, or like on a deeper level. I find that so fascinating. That happens to me so often, where I'm like, yeah, I know this concept, and then when I understand it deeper, I'm like, well, duh, that's kind of what it was saying the whole time. It just wasn't computing in that way. Flipping that concept on its head in the exact same way, just in the opposite way, and being like, oh, the human experience could literally be the afterlife. Clock it. Duh. I just think they're both one in the same. If that is actually how our existence exists, and it is this back and forth of leveling here, up leveling there, up leveling here, up leveling there, like back and forth, just to evolve as a spirit, as a energy, as a unity, whatever the fuck. So to a spirit, the afterlife is the human experience. Are we following what's going on? Oh, my finger. So yeah, to a spirit, to a ghost, is there an afterlife? You're living it, because to them, we're in it. To us, they're in it. Like, we're speaking the same language. It's all the fucking same. Oh, anyways, I thought that was literally so crazy, and it really blew my mind. And then the rest of the video just continued to be crazy just because of the final part of when they do. I want to know what it is called, the trance thing that they do. I think I've actually seen it before. I don't even know on what. But you get your eyes covered, and I think maybe Sam and Colby did it. Maybe that's where I saw it, but it didn't work. It didn't work as well. Like, this was literally crazy. It was literally the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I want to try the Estes method so bad. Now I want to try this thing. Like I said, I don't know if I can be doing that on my own. Like, it's a spooky thing to mess with that kind of stuff, because, I mean, I have people in my life that have had me myself, I've had experiences, but not intense things. Like, I've definitely had some ghastly, ghouly encounters, and I've always believed in that. Like I said earlier, in high school, I was obsessed. But I have people in my life that have very real and also been through, like, quite traumatic experiences. So it's not something that anyone in my immediate circle is going to jump on board with. And I'm also cautious because I don't want to bring anything home because they're already sensitive to it. And so I would feel really guilty if I put someone I know through a situation that was scary or traumatic, whatever. But I want to do it so bad. Like, one of my biggest dreams is to be on the Sam and Colby channel and on the boys channel, ghost hunting, like doing it, because they do it all the time. So I would, you know, I can be a guest and I'll cleanse myself afterwards and try my hardest not to bring anything to the people that I know and love. Oh my God, that would be, that is a dream I have for sure. Because iconic, I fucking iconic, dude. Truly iconic. What a spooky Halloween video this has been. Come on, green, open. Got it. I love that my birthday is on Halloween. I've always been a spooky girl in a spooky world. I love that shit. It really just, everything about it. It just fascinates me. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh my God. To be born on Halloween, it's just iconic. It is truly friggin' iconic, dude. I friggin' love it. I don't know. I really pictured this birthday being different, but I do have a lot of faith in the fact that I'm working towards that vision. I really am, because I have had huge breakthroughs in really confronting, it's going to sound so intense, but like confronting my own demons about how I show up for people and how I get triggered by certain things or like certain people, certain situations. The type of friends and friendships and community that I was calling in, I wouldn't have been able to hold it. I wouldn't have been able to appreciate it, or I would have fucked it all up. So I have a lot of faith in the work I'm doing on myself, in the healing, in the even just like forgiving myself for certain things, whether that be my own actions or allowing myself to be in situations with people where it was not for my best interest. But everything happens for a reason. You know, we go through experiences to show us where our triggers are, to show us where we need to grow and evolve as a human, to show us to be more confident in standing up for ourselves and what we will accept, what behavior we will accept from other people. And I've learned a lot. I really, really have. I've learned more than I thought I needed. So I'm really proud of myself in that regard. I know that at some point in the future, I am going to be experiencing the type of community and friendships and connections that I thought I would have achieved by this birthday. It just was too quick of a turnaround. There was too much to go through, too much to let go of. This year is also a 9 year in numerology, and 9, amongst other things, is a year of endings, and a lot of things came to an end this year for me in a lot of different ways. So I think even based on that alone, I wasn't going to be calling in the community that I wanted, because there was too much to end so that I could make space for new beginnings. Like, I was holding on to too much. I was letting too much slide. I was accepting behaviors from a multitude of people, by the way. So we've put an end to that. I've really leaned into trusting myself and backing myself, and I don't need to be in any situation where whack-ass people have whack-ass behaviors and they don't give a fuck about how it affects me at all. So a lot of things were put to bed this year, and I really do believe that that is closing chapters here, and I'm hoping this energy cleanse really helps me flush these things out of my system, so that next year, a number 1 year, new beginnings, it all, you know, it flows into a different energy. Just new beginnings. The community that I've been craving and always wanted, but struggled so hard to find because I was also showing up in really shitty and bizarre ways. Like, this is during high school, even like with high school friends, like in so many different ways, in so many different situations, at jobs, at school, in friend groups, like in so many ways. I was not showing up my best self, obviously, because I was a kid and I was experiencing things for the first time and reacting in ways that I today am not proud of, but that's just how it happened. Like, that's just, it is what it is. 31, I cannot believe it. Where is the time gone? Classic. I'm just looking forward to my 30s. I'm looking forward to my 31st year. aligning numerology wise with the number one, with new beginnings, with success, with abundance, with believing it, with calling it in and knowing that I can handle it, with that whole package. Just really, when you get to the late end of your 20s, and especially there's something that clicks when you turn 30. Like, if you know, you know. If you haven't turned 30 yet, you will know eventually. It's truly wild. Like, you go through it at 25 when your frontal lobe develops. Let me have a sip of water. You go through it at 25 when your frontal lobe develops. You just become like a more aware human. I feel like that happens again at 30. What also happens at 30 is your hormones change a lot and your body will change a lot. And it's literally like going through another puberty. Like, throughout my 20s and now at the beginning of my 30s, I feel like I'm going through a different phase of puberty. And I guess this is just womanhood, because our hormones are always changing, but I'm feeling it more than ever, which is fine. For myself, I'm calling in success, abundance, community, happiness, health, wealth, healing, protection, joy, all the things. Like, that is my focus, and I'm really pushing to get into a routine where I am acting in alignment with those things that I'm calling in. Is that clocking to you? That I'm standing on business? Is that clocking? Clock it! I didn't finish the cauldron, but I pretty much got it done. The cauldron and the frog. I'm going to paint the other ones in my leisurely time and just enjoy the experience of painting, because it's therapeutic and this was actually fun. But that's my finished product. I'm just excited. For the first time in a very long time, I'm excited for my future. I'm excited about becoming the woman I want to become, and still loving and accepting the woman I am today, and not being too hard on myself, having a lot of grace, but still working towards something else, you know, like the healing, it's never done. So don't get so bogged down in it. I think that's a big piece of advice I would give. There's always something to be working on. So don't get so bogged down in, oh my God, I just got to get there. I got to get there. It's all unfolding as it should. Even the hard moments, it's all unfolding as it should. Sorry that I've only been looking at myself and not the camera, because I can't see where the camera is. It's in this direction somewhere, but I can't actually see it. And I just like looking at myself. You know what? And here's some truth to it too. That last week I was kind of crashing out about my birthday. Classic. I was feeling like I was losing time, wasting time. I'm not doing enough. I always feel this way around my birthday. It doesn't help that my birthday is towards the end of the year. And as the end of the year starts to, you know, taper out and fade out, and we move into the downward motion of ending a year, it freaks a lot of people out. My birthday being around the same time doesn't fucking help. It doesn't help. So I was kind of crashing out last week, if I'm being completely honest. But this week, today, let's just take it day by day. Today, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I'm finally doing the things that I want to do. And that is freeing and liberating and fun. It's exciting. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say. I could sit here and talk for another million years. Trust and believe that I'm a chatterbox and I think of everything so deeply, and I could just, my phone just ran out of space. So I really got to wrap it up. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to me yap. Thank you to watching me paint. Go to your local Coles, your local supermarket, your local Kmart. They have shit like this. Just do something fun. Do something kid-like. Do something whimsical. Do something for yourself. Live your best life. Happy birthday to me in 5 days. Oh my God, it's crazy.